Hey people, here I am. It's Tuesday, the 21st of November. This is a birthday. I'll let them know. Somebody in my life, it's a birthday today. Cheers, people. The coffee is good this morning. Mm. Well, we'll start off by saying it's a good day. That messes with me when I look at myself. That's better. So yesterday, I I did listen to a little bit of This Jazz Is Dead album, and I wonder what the deal is because it's like subpar. Those are some big names, and it's like, are they? Does it sound like they just? It don't even sound like they phoned it in. I'm curious what the deal is with that series, Jazz Is Dead. What is that all about? So there's that. I thought I'd share that I am experiencing. Yesterday, I experienced what we call seasonal depression. There's nothing wrong, no issues at all. I worked almost all day on music, which was absorbing, and I enjoyed it. But that nagging feeling, which is unpleasant, um, is I don't feel it this morning like I did yesterday morning, and it's like that. It's like waves, just like the body. Circadian rhythms. We have all kinds of rhythms and cycles that the body goes through depending on a lot of things. So yesterday I was happy to be absorbed in. I'm really absorbed in learning more about Ableton, even though I have not the trial version, but the most basic version. Because as soon as you go from the basic, it's $300 up to almost $800. I can't do that, not yet. But I'll tell you what, I like Ableton so much that eventually I'd like to upgrade. There's a lot of features that I can't use, but I can do a lot without them. I'm already thinking about, boy, if I could get to those tools, wow. My other thought is, you know, the world doesn't necessarily need any more music, but it does. There's too much music to be heard, but it's important that music is made. So as I was working on new ideas yesterday and coming up with some things that are pleasing me, and I went to bed making it. I make a CD and go to bed listening to it. And the thought was, as I lay there and enjoyed it, it's like it's not about making this music so I can sell it to somebody. It's just making it, just doing it, and being absorbed in it. And the feedback loop with me, making it, playing it, um, obsessing about it, then listening to it, then correcting it or improving it, listening again. It's a wonderful process. It is. And it's much more stimulating for the brain and the body than just sitting in front of a television. I'm not just sitting in front of this screen. I'm interacting with my instruments and other things. It's good. So, still reflecting on the latest batch of VCLT, that's what we call it. You old timers know what I mean. The vinyl community love train still rolls. Not just with me, but a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people are giving and receiving. So I reflected on the fact that this was sent to me, and it's like, why did they send me the cream? But I'll show you. It's like I know about cream, and it got me thinking about old You know, I've been on here a long time. There's probably a lot of records that I've never shown, like some of my records from my original collection as a child. There's very few that have survived, but Cream is one. Best of Cream didn't survive because it didn't need it. It was a best of. But this is my copy from my childhood. I can probably tell you how each one of these blemishes got on here. Played the shit out of this album. It's been taped numerous times. Is my name inside of here? So this is what, yeah, well, I was thinking, oh, but there it is, sure enough. So when I first heard Cream, it was the total blast that I got. Sunshine of Your Love, of course. But then when I started hearing the albums and hearing the way that Eric Clapton, you know, at first he was very invigorating because he would just his flow on his solos on this stuff is cool, you know. By the time we get to Dereck and the Dominoes, I'm tired of Eric Clapton, okay? I've discovered all these other people. I was listening to others anyway. But, you know, honestly, Eric Clapton was one of the guitarists, besides Leslie West, that got me to start focusing on lead guitar. But I moved away from him quickly. I want to share that the songs on here that are my favorites are Badge and What a Bring Down. That side two, basically after they're done with the blues, is my favorite Cream. And I love the fact that George Harrison is on here as a guest. You can hear that it's George, but he had to use a pseudonym. So I have that one. I have Disraeli Gears. This is important stuff. I don't play these. These are important artifacts. And this one, Swallober, was the song. You know, I really like that one. It's, I forget what it stands for. And Tales of Brave Ulysses, okay? The thing I liked the least about Cream, which is what they were about, was the blues. So I have, this is in delicate shape, but this is an original. You know, it's one of the like first runs. You know, it became a gold award, so it isn't the first pressing, but it's early because it's got the silver paper that is coming off. Wheels, excuse me, Wheels of Fire. Love this album. Love that artwork. That is the bee's knees. And on this one, the Live at the Fillmore, get real bored with it. Toad, the drum solo. This is the drum solo that to me destroyed all the drum solos. It's a good one, but it's like a whole damn side. That's way too much, okay? Passing the Time, and As You Said on here. Cream. I never got to see Cream. Of course, they never came anywhere near Omaha. Never got to see Ginger Baker play. I got to see Eric Clapton on one of his solo tours here in the 2000s. For me, the big deal in seeing him was seeing his band, Billy Preston on keyboards and Steve Gadd on drums. Those were the highlights. But I can say I've seen Eric Clapton. Now, while I was in the C section, that always makes me think of the okay. I thought to myself, well, heck, I've got these records. Let me just talk about these for a second. Who knows about this band? Originally from Omaha, Crackin. Making of a Dream. Now, really, the main reason why I have this album, and I have they have 3 albums, I think. I only have 2 of them. I have these, and I keep them really mainly for sentimental reasons. These are Omaha people. I am familiar with them. Historically, they were acolytes of my dad. And all these guys would be over at the house at different times for different reasons, and sometimes almost all of them at the same time, doing music, taking lessons. In particular of the band, the guitarist Bob Bordy. I'm looking for his name to make sure I get it right. Yep, there he is, Bob Bordy on guitars. For a time, and I forget when this was in the 90s, but for a time I was working with Bob trying to put together a project. He had moved back to Omaha and had reconnected with me through his love of my dad. And it never got off the ground, quite frankly, because of some recreational drug use, okay? It's just one of those things that can happen a lot with musicians, that you get sidetracked and you never get... But frankly, as I look back on it, we weren't vibing on the music. I was trying to get with his deal, but it wasn't what I was into. But thought I'd share that. Crackin. Who else knows the band? Les Smith, the main guy, because it was the Les Smith Soul Band for a while. Les Smith, he wrote, isn't he a Grammy Award winner? I'm pretty sure of that. He co-wrote a hit for the Doobie Brothers or something. I remember Les Smith. These guys were nice to me. They were nice. I was just a child, but I was so absorbed and fascinated by music and musicians. I appreciated the ones that were nice to me. And I hated the ones who treated me like a child or tried to molest me. Sure didn't have to deal with that. So the other thing that I pulled to show, because I was thinking, if I were to try and show some of the original artifacts of my record collection, I can't even remember what I still have. I'd have to actually look through here, and that'd be impossible. But I know I have this. This is the first album that was given to me. I think the Little Richard was the second. I don't know why I don't have it anymore, but I kept this, even though it's in absolutely horrible shape, because it was given to me by my grandpa when I was 6 years old. Ramblin' Rose. He wanted me, okay, and I even had written it on the back, Grandfather Johnson, and it's all beat up like this because as a child, when he gave it to me, when this came out, I was all into the Beatles. And so it was a disappointment. You know, I got a record, but Nat King Cole, I didn't have hardly any records, you know, so I had a record to play. So I did play it, as you see. I played it. Nothing else to do. But that's why it's so beat up, you know, because it was, you know, it's a Survivor. I love that my grandpa gave it to me. You know, I'm looking at all this stuff. I didn't value it, you know what I mean? Like my Beatles records and stuff, but it's a Survivor. I'm glad I kept it. I don't know why I don't have that first Little Richard record. And I don't know if it was this one or the Little Richard that my Uncle Harry gave me. I don't know which one was first. I really don't know what happened to the Little Richard album. That one really turned me on. It really excited me. The excitement of his voice and the music. It was like, boy, yeah, I danced crazy. So there's what I want to share today. This afternoon, it's not public. They'll put it online afterwards, but it's really mainly for the students. I'm guest lecturer again this semester, or whatever they call the terms, you know, at the University of California. They had me last year. I enjoyed it. I'm glad they have me back. I like doing this. So I have that. My position is they present me as an entrepreneur musician, which is what I am. I am an independent music maker in today's world of the music industry that doesn't exist like it used to. And so what I found the students mostly interested in the last session was, I made it obvious that I'm not doing this with the primary focus on making money and being a businessman. My primary focus on it is as an art form and life enrichment, and one thing has led to the other. And that's what I'm able to share with the students, my process, because I don't make a lot of money. I do make some money. That's one of the primary reasons why people are in school anymore, is trying to figure out how to make money. So I share my process. I share, my philosophy, which um, the students found useful. I had a woman who um, is a choir master, contact me afterwards for more tips. So I guess it's helpful. So that's what I'm doing today. Besides, since I've upgraded my computer, I have not done a session with live instruments. So I need to get that configuration together to make sure that my Ableton gets my live feed when I have a mixer here. So I need to do that today. I've been working straight out of MIDI because I really like MIDI quite a bit. Actually, I like it a lot. So that's on my agenda for today. That's it. Okay, folks. Glad to see that you're back, LE. I appreciate you folks. There's other folks whose names, I think it's P Junior is there. Phil Bell, I haven't seen him for a while. But again, this is, it's a big world. There's a lot going on. I don't know none of you folks, really. So the fact that you join me at all is cool. I hope what's going on with you is good. I hope for good things. I must say, though, the last thing I want to say, because I got to, whenever I get to spend time with children or babies, which is not a lot, it's an energy boost. I literally feel their energy when I'm in proximity to them, and especially when I hold them, especially babies. But the big but is about my mind and looking at the world and how it just makes me insane. War, how people can lose their minds and hurt people, children, babies, blowing up hospitals. There is not a good reason for any of it. I don't care what side you're on. You're blowing up people, innocent people especially children. That is just wrong. And the world is mad, and it won't stop. And we don't have good leaders who really care about life. It's about business. And that's how they can rationalize killing humans, or just glaze over it and just, well, the job has to be done. That's wrong, people. That hurts my soul. God, it hurts my soul. Like I say, especially after holding Nick's little daughter, Faye, and then it's just like, I can't, how can you lose your soul to power? That's insanity. Okay. Have a good day.